The American ambassador is trying to tell Guyanese who to vote for. Can you believe that? Here it is. Donald Trump was convicted on 34 felony charges. Not accused, not sanctioned, convicted in a court of law for fraud. Yet, with all that, he ran for president and won. President Lula of Brazil was jailed for corruption, released, ran for elections and won. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was once sanctioned by the US. He still ran for elections and won by a landslide. Irfan Ali, before becoming president of Guyana, faced 19 criminal fraud charges tied to land giveaways under Barajak deal. He ran for office. The US Embassy did not say a word back then. But Azruddin Mohammad, who hasn't been charged, never been convicted of any crime in or out of Guyana, was simply sanctioned by the US Treasury Department, not a court. And suddenly, the US ambassador to Guyana has a problem with him, possibly sitting in Parliament. Problem for who? Because it sure isn't a problem for the Guyanese people who never got a vote on the decisions being made in this country. So, let's get this straight. A convicted felon like Trump, no problem. A president with 19 fraud charges, no objection. A businessman with no conviction, suddenly he is too dangerous to sit in the National Assembly. Wake up, Guyana. Wake up. This isn't about ethics, fair play, or justice in this country. It's about control. This US ambassador, like those before her, clearly doesn't want any new political force rising in this land, unless it wears red, green, or yellow. You know why? Because those three parties are controllable, already compromised. They have signed away our oil, our gold, our lands, and our future. And in return, what they get to hand you? A cash grant, and to keep their visa intact. And anyone who dares to challenge that arrangement becomes a threat, a problem, and a danger to their plan. The US ambassador even went further to say the American private sector would have to rethink doing business with Guyana or in Guyana. The truth is, the American private sector isn't here out of love for me and you, Guyana. No, no. They are here to take control of every sector Guyanese should have been in. From the oil and gas, to supply boats, to transportation and construction. Yes, that is what belongs to Guyanese. So they're here for that. They're not here to help you and me. They're here to help themselves. And with that statement, she has made her position very clear. She doesn't stand with you or me as Guyanese. She stands with those who make it easier to extract, exploit, and enslave Guyanese. She stands with the sellouts who smile for the cameras and sign away our future, while the people of this land remain hungry, poor, and powerless. And anyone who threatens that plunder, that kind of theft, anyone bold enough to say enough of that becomes the enemy. That's what Azruddin Mohammed has become. A threat to the robbery they are carrying out on this country. And they are trembling. So come September 1st, vote for whoever you want to. But make no mistake, if that ballot paper doesn't include 25% royalty on it, if it doesn't demand a renegotiation of that Exxon contract, if it doesn't offer real change, then you know exactly which finger to hand them. Loud, proud, and unafraid. Because this is our land, people, our wealth, people, and the only time we have to do that is come September 1st. Nobody, no ambassador should tell us who or who we cannot vote for.
So I think the banks lied to the government. Here it is. There is no need for a house or land to get a loan from the bank. Now here's what's going on. I believe the government was having some sort of discussion with the banks. And something that came up is, well, the bank is saying, well, look, if we're going to give out a loan, we got to have something tangible to back the loan. It just makes sense, right? The best thing being an immovable property like a house or land. But here's the thing. When Anil was told that, it seemed like he didn't believe so. He was like, the bank is saying the law states, let me check that. And he did, right? And it turns out that there's nothing in the law books that say you have to have immovable property as the backing for a loan. You as a bank can offer a loan to a customer and it doesn't really have to be backed by anything, right? Other than, I suppose, your due diligence. So Anil went back and said, hey, the lions say that. Now here's the thing. Imagine the banks were operating under that premise all the time and it's not even written in law. That makes me think, what are the really stupid, silly things are the bank imposing us with that doesn't have any legal basis? Now here's the thing. I can be honest with you. I have a problem with the banks in Guyana. They hide behind the anti-money laundering and countering of financing of terrorism to be able to slow down progress in the banking sector and slow down your ability to do personal banking. Have you lining up, supervisor got to sign off, this thing got to stamp. It's so much nonsense, and I believe that is cultural. That is something in the bank that they have a problem with mentally. They have an addiction to paper and stamps and pen and signing. And I think this is a disease that's slowing down the economy of Guyana. So I'm really glad that Anil challenged them on this. You don't have to have a house or a land to get a loan. That is the first step. Now, the other thing GBTI is doing, they're able to take people's oil and gas invoices, right? Usually these things take 30, 90 days, 60 days, I don't know, to get paid. And in the interim, you can go and say, hey, I have an invoice. Can you give me a percentage of that money that I have incoming as a loan, and the invoice will pay it back when it comes in. So that's a good first step by GBTI. I must applaud them. The other thing, which I'm going to do a next video on, is the ability for you to apply for online banking. Now, here's the thing. The government really had to scrape these guys by the back to get it done, right? So I'm guessing in the future you're going to see some more innovative and smart ways to get collateralized loans that doesn't have to be backed by immovable property like a house and land. And well, as of today, 4 banks can now process your bank account opening applications online. So that's the next video I'm going to do. So yeah, the banks were caught lying, and I'll check them on it, and let's see how it goes.
My name is Lydia Sandy. I am from 44 Cliff Street, Golden Grove. My grandson's name was Quindan Bacchus. Well, the matter went to court. He was brutally killed. And the matter went to court, and the boy was charged for murder, and now it go to High Court. the boy, they say no case submission, the boy walked free out of court to go home. So that is how we left without no justice. Well, it makes me feel uncomfortable. There's only one thing that gives me little assurance. God promised to give us. God promised to give us justice. So we know He would give us justice in His own time. But the family not feel comfortable about this situation. At least my son went to court Thursday. Thursday was his birthday, and that is the gift he got. So you can imagine how he felt when he walked out court. I was happy that I wasn't there. Well, we've been going through terrible situation. We didn't feel comfortable. Because the day when my grandson died, he left me not 15 minutes after. A boy picked him up, and then we got a message that he died. He got shot and died. So you can imagine. It was the day before my birthday. That is what I got. So we was uncomfortable until now. Injustice has passed, and persons must look out and see what is going on to Guyanese. No justice for Guyanese people. It's so sad that the mother isn't there, but I know how she feels about it. So we cannot do anything more about that. Only God we're waiting on to give us justice.
My name is Orange Sandy. I'm the uncle of Quinton Bacchus. From the time I went to the courts, it was the evidence that the police was giving. The evidence the police was giving, it wasn't clear. Some was lie and some was truth. And from the evidence they were giving, it's that they're covering up the matter. It's a cover-up, a total cover-up. And when you look at the interaction with the lawyer and the prosecutor and them, you could see that nothing wasn't coming out of it, but it was just going through the motion. Well, it's still like if it's yesterday. It's still like yesterday to every family member. And then lately we saw, the accused, he came out of prison and he back with his child, so it's telling a toll on us right now. To see a killer walking free and somebody else's child just die. Well, there is no time at all that money could ever bring back life. Money can't replace what will happen in life. Having a family member around you, no amount of money could fulfill that. So I don't see money as money means nothing to us. We still go on living the same way.
How was his mother accepted the ruling of the court?
But when I talked to her, to me like she fainted away. Because she took her time, then she had to call me back when I called her into her. What I want to say is that we need proper justice system in this country, and we need to have respect for people's lives in this country.